I've been in their lives for 4 years now. And when we started out, she didn't even tell me that they were autistic because she had had no success getting dates after people would find out that she had two autistic kids. I mean, it's one autistic kid is rough.
Absolutely.
Two autistic kids can be a nightmare. And we had such a wonderful connection between the two of us that when she felt that she could trust, the relationship, she told me. But I was surprised because they were pretty high functioning. But the more I got a chance to be around the kids, the more I saw, the different levels of autism and how it affected them and everything else.
How old were they when you first met them?
Well, Isa, the youngest, was only 4, and she's 8 now. And Matthew was, he was 8, and he's 13 now. And Angelica was only 6. I've seen a ton of changes. And I've learned a lot about autism. It was a different situation when I was growing up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, It was just different. Autism, they didn't have the label of autism. The labels were retardation, slow, all the
Sad.
stereotypic names that they had. And so it was a total misunderstanding, but being and living with someone with autism is a whole different experience. Well, my first date almost ended up being my last date. We went to a place in Palos Verdes, California, where there's a beautiful cliff overlooking the ocean, and it's called the Korean Friendship Bell. And you can go up there, you can fly kites, it's a real high mountain type situation overlooking the ocean. And Isa, the youngest, who was loving she was 4 at the time.
Oh, 4.
Who was loving all of this, and this is our first date, decides that she's going to take off over the edge of the cliff.
No.
Now, it's almost like a 50-degree angle similar to this. And she takes off and disappears over the side. And everybody freaked out, and I go running over there, and she's just running full speed like this down the hill. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna hurt. So I started chasing her. And we ran for about a quarter of a mile all the way down to the street. She never stopped running. And I ended up chasing her all the way down to the bottom. And this was part of her autism, the thing of not having any fear of danger or anything else like that. But I caught her right before she went into the highway.
Oh my goodness.
And I was totally out of breath, but that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was I had to carry her a quarter of a mile all the way back up the side of the cliff, and by the time I got back up, and there were people all around staring and clapping, because I'd saved her, and my girlfriend just really felt like, oh, this is it, another one bites the dust. But no, I stuck around, and it really turned into a wonderful relationship. The kids have been wonderful. I've been dad to them. And it was a decision that I had to make, that if I was going to be in this relationship, I couldn't just be their mother's boyfriend. I had to decide whether I was going to be their father. And being the father of autistic kids, it's
beyond challenging.
It's a handful.